Hey, good evening. It's Tuesday, July 19th. Thanks so much for being here today. And welcome to everydaytalk247.com. Thanks so much for being here. Got Q&A Friday coming up on this Friday. Got some questions. Send them in. Already got some really good ones. So excited to hear about your questions. I'm going to begin talking about, for the next several videos, heart habits. Heart habits are something that we all have. And whether those habits are healthy or unhealthy, just like our physical heart habits, has a lot to do with the way we interact with this world, our view of the world, how we interact with each other, and most importantly, what about our relationship with God? The American Heritage Dictionary defines habit this way: a recurrent, often unconscious pattern of behavior that is acquired through frequent repetition. A recurrent and often unconscious pattern of behavior that is acquired through frequent repetition. Just what we do, how we look at the world, what really reveals what we think of everything, about what our heart thinks. So therefore, a heart habit would be a recurring set of responses of your heart that indicate the functional level of your trust in God's care for you. So just as the cardiologist can measure the effectiveness of your heart and how it's doing, what it needs to get healthy, where the problems are, our heart habits show us where we are in terms of being able to trust God in our relationship. See, your heart is who you are on the inside. It's who you are, the person that looks at the mirror in you in the morning. That's your heart. The Bible's understanding of heart is not centered on emotion, like our culture's idea of heart. But actually, especially in the Old Testament, the whole inner person is the heart. Your gut, the thing that moves you the most, that's your heart. That's what the Bible's talking about. So it includes the intellect. Jesus talked about thinking with the heart. It includes the intellect, the will, our sense of right and wrong, our facial expressions. Everything about us comes from the heart. But it's not this physical heart here. And it's not an emotional thing. It's a reflection of who and what we are. So this is why Proverbs talks about, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the source, the wellspring of everything that you are. That's your heart. You've got to protect that. So we're not talking about protecting emotions. We're talking about the very center, core of who you are. That's why your heart habits display where your trust lies. Your heart habits display where your trust lies. You can have someone who says that they love God and they're interested in God and God is everything and God is good all the time. In the midst of their anxiety and worry and raw hands and pulled out hair and upset and patterns of pushing clothing and just nervous habits that are there, but saying God is good all the time. You see, that's a disconnect. That's not a healthy heart habit. You may say one thing, but the habits of your heart are saying something else. Your heart habits display where your trust lies. A healthy heart responds well to pressure. It perseveres. It's stable. It pursues what is good. But an unhealthy heart is anxious, unstable, worrisome, full of doubt, and rather than making good decisions, it will make poor decisions. See, just like with your physical heart, daily habits can result in an unhealthy heart or a healthy heart. If we don't exercise, if we don't get good diet, if eat good food, if we are just full of anxiety and worry, don't do anything, that's going to negatively impact our physical heart. Well, God has called us to have habits that will be healthy to us. Just like diet, exercise, eating well, not caving into stress, all those things. Well, these healthy heart habits will have a positive impact on you. And we're going to be talking about like that the next several days. But I'm going to just talk about 5 of them, and here they are. And we're going to take one a day starting tomorrow. But the 5 habits, healthy heart habits, that I've identified, and there are more, but this is just a good place to start. Gratitude, joy, praise, ongoing prayer, and humility. If those are 5 habits of your heart, then you respond well, and those become evidence of who you are, that will give you a healthy heart. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. Each of these habits, they're not optional attitudes that some personalities seem more prone to or more drawn to. These are not personality traits. Rather, they're the commands of God. And if they're the commands of God, they're for our good. And if they're the commands of God, He's going to give us the strength to do them. I have a problem with gratitude. Well, God commands us to gratitude. He says it's where we need to be. He commands us to joy. He commands us to praise. He commands us to be constantly praying. He commands us to be humble. So these commands are good for our heart, and as Proverbs tells us, good for our body as well. So that's where we're going to be looking at them. Your heart attitude, your heart habits tell you about your level of trust in God's faithfulness to you. That's why they're so important. It's how you can help members of your family, your children, your husband, your wife, friends you want to work with, because you can look at their heart habits and know how to respond well to them. So I pray this is going to be a really productive time of study for us in these things. I know it's been an encouragement to me because I've been thinking about it for a while. Heart habits, healthy heart habits, they'll make a big impact on your life. And that's the thought for this night. Thanks so much for being here. Check us out every day, talk247.com. If you haven't subscribed, turn on post notifications. The videos will come right to you. Again, looking forward to Q&A Friday. And tomorrow we'll look at the first heart attitude, the first heart habit of gratitude. And I'm very thankful for you all. So we'll see you then. You have a great night. Bye-bye.